Just signed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. That's how US President describes it. The 870-page legislative blockbuster signed into law on July 4, 2025. Mind if I tell you that this is US Independence Day, highlighting the importance of this act? Well, it slashes down the taxes, which are from tips and overtime, while massively boosting defense, border security and ICE funding. Well, this is Vibhor. Welcome to theLearned. And you are about to find out how this one big beautiful bill deep cuts the Medicaids and clean energy initiatives, while what happens to the deficits. And why Elon Musk is upset, and how the bill ripple across the globe from the Silicon Valley to Delhi. Let's decode the politics, the power plays and the promises of the bill. To begin, following the 2024 US elections, the Republican Party, backed by Mr. Trump, won with flying colors. And the main leading and appealing statement of the election campaign sum up to this act, often shortened as OBBA, or One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Firstly, I present you with an article of BBC about the steep cuts Medicaids. Well, here you can see that the Senate, which is the alternative name for the US Parliament, so the Senate bill also proposes tightening eligibility requirements for the able-bodied adults and the children aged 15. So the Senate or the US Parliament have tightened some eligibility requirements, and it is estimated that nearly 12 million Americans could lose their health cover by the end of the next decade, resulting in these changes. Well, you can see one more article regarding this, where it is talking about the SNAP cut. And SNAP is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So there are also cuts in SNAP. How does this bill affect the country like us, the India? Well, I am presenting you with another article. This is from the Hindu, which talks about the remittance tax. Well, remittance tax was originally set as 5% before the bill was passed. Well, during some of the talks in the American Senate, it was around 3.5%, and finally 1% in the final version. Well, remittance is the tax which is levied on the amount of money which one person returns back to his own country. Like someone is working in US and some part of his salary is sending to his home for their survival. There should be a tax levied on that amount. That is now said to be 1%. Well, this is some relief to the citizens of India, because many Indians work there, and if the remittance tax was set as 5%, this would have been a disaster. Then comes the boost of defense and border spending. Well, it was assumed and talked among many geopolitical analysts that Trump government should essentially think over reducing the defense budget in order to balance the reduced taxes which were promised to. But this is exactly which did not happen. Republican government is potentially increasing the budget up to 150 billion US dollar, which is earlier already as high as crossing the $900 billion mark. Well, to understand the gravity, India's budget has not reached $100 billion mark even, and it may take years to touch that mark. Now upon taxes. Well, taxes on tips and other such overtime elements are reduced. Also, the child tax credit is increased, which is the amount of money which the parents could be credited back when they fill their federal income tax in the IRS or the Internal Revenue System. Given to such sequence of provisions in this act, I am not amazed that US debt could increase up to 5 trillion US dollar, which Mr. Trump had promised to decrease. Finally, coming to the clean energy initiatives cuts, the reason of rising tension between Trump and his old friend Elon Musk. Well, the US government in the Joe Biden era used to give subsidies for electronic vehicles bought, which were helping pockets of Elon Musk due to his ownership of Tesla. But a sheer businessman like Trump doesn't care about environment and cuts the subsidies for money. This led to a heated debate on social media platforms like X and Truth Social, where Musk threatened to make a new political party, and Trump in turns wants Musk to send him back to his birthplace, South Africa. Well, that's how leaders strike at the opponent, gaining faith of their supporters. And yes, Musk can never become US president as his birth is in South Africa, but he can potentially make a political party. Well, any other further update will bring me back. This is Vibhor signing off. Thank you.